Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hello, and welcome to episode 90 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Today I'm joined by MC Halfpenny, Director of Operations at Uncommon Goods, an online retailer of unique gifts and creative home decor. We're going to be talking about how Uncommon Goods is using proactive customer support to improve the order delivery process for its customers. Thanks for joining me today, MC.
Thank you for having me.
So, why is Uncommon Goods taking a more proactive approach to customer service, and let's particularly focus around that delivery experience?
Yeah. So at Uncommon Goods, we're a cataloger and an e-commerce site that brings clever design and handmade products to you and to your favorite people. So from the time we were founded in 1999, we've never had a brick and mortar storefront. So our packages really have to act as that storefront. Many of our packages are also being sent as gifts. So we're constantly introducing ourselves to new people and to new customers. And we really want to be your favorite place to shop. It's actually part of our mission. So we look at all the component parts that go into achieving that experience, and that includes the delivery. We also have a very big seasonal peak at the end of Q4, and we need to keep our customers coming back. So we need to deliver, especially in that Q4. So specific to the delivery experience, I think our customers want, and customers are also starting to expect, a level of visibility into where their package is.
Yeah, now I might get into that kind of expectations later here, but so let's start with what are some examples of how Uncommon Goods is being more proactive with support around order delivery?
Yeah. So we answer all of our calls from our home base in Brooklyn, New York. And from there, if you call us within 20 seconds, you'll actually be speaking to one of our friendly customer service reps. And we also keep a 2-hour turnaround on emails. We spend a lot of time optimizing our frequently asked questions section of the website because we find our customers really do want to self-serve. So we also took the learning from those questions being asked to improve the messaging on other pages, like our item page, so we can clarify things and anticipate their needs. Our warehouse also sees a 20-fold increase in orders in December. So our goal is really to give our customers the tracking number within 24 hours of their order. And, in a lot of cases, we're shipping it out same day. So driving that SLA helps us both with our shipping costs and the customer satisfaction, and really helps reduce the calls to our call center for those WISMO calls, the where is my order calls. And I think for customer service, sometimes it is given a bad reputation, but I think that's in part because the way business defines customer service differs from how the customer does. For the business, it's really about controlling the customer experience. As a business, we can control a lot. We're making sure the warehouse ships successfully. That plays a huge role. We can select the partners for who we're going to use for our carriers, but then we need to trust the carriers to actually deliver on that promise. And, we can plan for some factors like a weather event. If something's going to shut down our warehouse, we can put that in the checkout messaging, but that typically has to be really general. So more recently, we've dedicated a lot of resources to our post-purchase experience. So like I said, we can't control everything, but with an improved post-purchase experience, we can give the customers the most up-to-date information specific to their package. And they really do appreciate being in the loop and alerted when there's an unforeseen delay. So rather than them being angry, in a lot of cases, Uncommon Goods actually looks like the hero in this because we're being so proactive and they really do appreciate it.
Yeah, you can turn that opportunity where a customer may be upset and turn that into a positive experience. So that could be really powerful, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned the changing customer expectations around, specific to delivery. Obviously, with Amazon and same day shipping and just the kind of speed at which e-commerce orders are now being delivered, and also, with cost, the customer's expecting, in most cases, free shipping. Can you talk about how that customer expectation has changed at Uncommon Goods?
Yeah, so for us, I think our customers understand that they're getting something they couldn't get at Amazon. We're selling things that aren't mass produced in the same way and are coming from smaller vendors. And we also do things like pay our very large workforce here in Brooklyn, New York, a living wage. So they want to know that their thing for their favorite person is going to get there to them successfully. And they want that visibility that that gift is getting there. But we don't have the same size of network that, an Amazon has, but we can offer them visibility on the tracking using, some new tools like Convey, that I think is really improving their overall experience.
Yes, you've built that level of trust where the expectation is that they're going to have a good experience and they're willing to maybe wait an extra day or two to receive their order.
Yeah.
So you referenced some of the tools that Uncommon Goods is using now to create this level of proactive support. Do you want to talk about Convey and maybe any other tools that you're using around order fulfillment and delivery?
Yeah. So in November of last year, we launched a tracking experience with Convey. So that's it's a customer-facing web page. So when order ships, customer gets the email, there's a tracking link. So they go to this branded tracking page that's on the Convey platform. Behind the scenes, Convey has integrated all the carriers via API setups. So the customers watch as the shipment progresses. They can sign up for text messages. They'll soon be able to sign up for emails. Additional emails as exceptions happen. On the page, they can also rate that delivery experience and submit feedback to their team. So they can click back to our frequently asked questions, or they can come back to the website and in some cases even place another additional order, which is nice promotion. It's also mobile optimized. Rather than them going to our carrier sites, which were not in any way branded or kind of a good experience. With Convey, they also normalize a lot of those exception codes, so the customer doesn't need to figure out carrier speak, because some of those, I'm sure you've seen them, weather alert that is like 150 characters of confusingness. So we're also getting up and running this year on the command center feature, which is not customer facing. That's for our customer service team. So we can look up all of our shipments in whole, and when they also bucket specific exceptions into exception types. So let's say, for example, your address wasn't sufficient. Ideally, that's caught in the checkout process, but something's still wrong. It's out in the wild now, and it's having trouble getting to you. We can see that has been marked as an exception. We're going to reach out to you, and we're going to say, hey, can you confirm our address? Hopefully, we can get it fixed up so the address is now, everything's going to be hunky-dory. But let's say also that package now is going to end up coming back to us and show up in our warehouse. Now we can immediately send you out a replacement at our cost, and we can work on getting back the return to sender shipment. And I just think it's, there's some cool features in there also where you can push messaging to the customer using the tracking page. So you're not just displaying simply what the carrier has to say. You can actually have an interaction with the customer as well using the platform.
So then what are some of the business benefits that Uncommon Goods has realized from being proactive with this customer support around delivery? I'm thinking potential for increased efficiency, less support requests that you've kind of touched on. What are some of the things that you've realized?
Yeah, so we actually saw a lot of feedback coming out from our Convey page. We launched pretty late in Q4, so it was maybe more than we were expecting, but I think it was healthy engagement. It made it easier for customers to be reaching out to us to say, hey, like, what's going on? So it wasn't that customer wasn't going to be reaching out to us. They just came to us earlier in the process, which gave us more time to correct the problem rather than them running into an important anniversary or holiday, which we could have potentially ruined. Instead, we get to help them with whatever problem it was. So with being proactive, you also get to control the workloads better. Our CS team much prefers to have earlier contacts and to be able to respond with staffing because they kind of can see it coming. And also from a training standpoint, we don't need to ask all of our CSRs to know all the service levels and all the carriers. And the customer and that CSR have one home for the information. A lot of carriers are offering text messages for our customers, but it requires like a sign up, and it's different carriers have different ways of doing it. With Convey, we got a unified experience that feels like it's all coming from Uncommon Goods. So it's really, I think that just unifying the experience was one of the best benefits for the customer.
You mentioned that you launched this tool in late Q4, so it would be interesting, and you might not have any data around it yet, but to see if the customers are happy with the experience, the delivery experience, what kind of repurchase rates you might see from these seasonal customers that may be buying around the holidays. Whether, is that one thing that you guys have kind of thought about, improve, with that improvement around the delivery experience, that you might see a little uptick in repeat purchases?
Yes, certainly through the platform itself, because it's branded and they get the opportunity to come back to our website, and we have seen some additional purchases come out of that. But we're always tracking, because of just how seasonal we are. How do we push some of that seasonality throughout the year? But I also think what's interesting is you can start to tag specific customers, and they could see different promotional things. So we could also say, let's say, we know a particular event is coming up, we could put that within a promotional panel, and maybe you weren't thinking about this next upcoming thing when you made your initial purchase, but we could help you remember that there's another thing upcoming as well for you.
Yep. And then my final question, MC, is just what advice would you have for other retailers that want to improve their customers' experiences around product delivery?
Yeah. So you need to set clear expectations. We see the delivery date as a promise. You trusted us with your hard-earned cash, and we want to deliver you that wonderful handmade item, damage-free, to your favorite person by that important date. And if we do that, I know you're going to see Uncommon Goods as your favorite place to shop. We also spend a lot of time listening to our customers. We do specific listening labs. So we want the feedback on not just the delivery experience, but all the different component parts. And also, like we said before, with being proactive, you get credit for alerting the customer, and the customer tends to be more forgiving. They understand you can't control everything. And then one final recommendation I have about just post-purchase and delivery experience solutions that are out there, in my experience, just two approaches. One is about the marketing side of it, and Convey has that, but where we've really seen them shine is on the operational side. They know the carriers, and they want to solve for how to make the delivery experience consistent regardless of the carrier. So we can try out new things, and the customer, they're getting a consistent experience. But let's say we want to onboard a new carrier, it's already supported, they're not necessarily having a totally new experience because it's all branded in one place. So it's not just another customer touch point, but really the delivery experience where Convey has been able to add value for our customers.
Yeah, and it gives you some flexibility there, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So great. I want to take this opportunity to thank MC Halfpenny of Uncommon Goods for joining me today and talking a little bit about how the company is using proactive customer support around order delivery. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts, for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, but make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, please follow us on Twitter at MyTotalRetail or on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.